All right, Skate Nerd Scott back again. And today we're talking about the March 1998 issue of Transworld Skateboarding. I believe this is Tim McKinney, and he was really hot right about this time, 97, 98. A real all-terrain dude. Crack this baby open. Signature Tony Hawk tracker truck. 2 years of signature trucks. Willie Santos. Was he the first person to do that? I want to say like Kean Lou did it. I was hoping for another brand, but this one will last a lot longer. Josh Casper, tray flip on that famous, also I think San Diego double set that Tom Penny frontside flipped. Ooh, those are some good looking S. I forgot that Paul Sharp rode for S. Ooh, Kane Gale. He was just in the 1997 ad for DC, 2-page ad. What the fuck is going on with this? God, that's gross. What, another DC ad on the next page? The Clocker 3, I guess. This is like, they kept refining this shoe. Acme's influence and real estate in the magazine is shrinking. Castell shoes, pretty ugly. Fabian from Menace, nose blunting a picnic table, nice. America's Most Wanted, video out December 1st, 1997. Coming soon. Oh, that's crazy. This is like the March 98 issue, right? But they don't even have a name on the video that was supposed to come out on December 1st, 97, which would have been Fulfill the Dream, right? This is before his lowrider personality kind of took over. Maybe he was about to drift over to Foundation. He's got a Foundation sticker on this guitar. Backside nose grind for Gershon. Like almost a Gersh grind, like an overcook, but not quite. Marsan signature shoe. That's not that good looking. Merry Christmas from Powell. Wow, that's a lot of work went into that. That's probably really cool for all the Powell employees. George Powell, of course, right there in the center. Sal with a switch crook. That looks posed. I never quite figured this out. It looks posed. There's something wrong with it. Ryan Simonetti, however you say that, and Steve-O, holy shit, dude. Oh, Reef, Idle Diani Pro model. I mean, not terrible looking, it's fine. But it has his name and stitching on the tongue? What? Why? Like, people couldn't even say his name. Was he trying to make himself a household name at this point? Zach Warren, this is a pretty sick photo. I definitely would have gotten all the debris out of the way, but that's pretty dope. Like dropping off of that and with like a pretty stylish early ollie off. So 1998, this is like a year before the Storm came out, right? Osiris just really hadn't figured their shit out. They were holding over from Evol a little bit. Their previous incarnation was Evol shoes. They hadn't like fully formed into what Osiris was going to become like a year later, and the team hadn't either. So and then you got this weird kind of 50-50, 180, probably did not roll away going very quickly. And the shoe is not very good either. There's something wrong with it. The logo, this color combination, pretty weird. 26 red tread. God, those are terrible. Ooh, the starting point blunt slide. Damn, Gershon, not really known for doing blunt slides. Ooh, and a frontside blunt slide with Chad Fernandez. Probably at that same spot, I think. Probably filmed it on the same day. First learned 5-0s and shifty ollies. Okay, interesting. Did anybody ever wear Skechers? Did anybody ever see anybody wearing Skechers? Zero wheels. Eric Ellington with a backside big spin in negative. Not very confident maybe with the wheels yet. Dan Rogers, the Dan Rogers profile. I don't know if Dan Rogers ever really got his due, and I don't know why that is. I have heard that maybe he wasn't super well liked. I don't really know. He was doing like big, clean skating and very kind of like refined, intentional trick selection on par with Heath Kirchart and, you know, some other guys. Didn't quite have like the style that some other guys did. He was skating big stuff like they were. Big, tall 50-50, that's pretty sick. Big, tall nose slide off a jump ramp. I like his gear there. It fits kind of cool. Oh, see, this is what I'm talking about here. Like big tray flip, actually like pretty good style, at least in the photo, and it's pretty sick fit. You got the camo. Front tail, looking very Muska. Hookups tour. Oh, this is okay. So this, I gotta give some context to this, because like this is like the hookups tour that I attended back in 1997. Oh, I wonder, there's a page missing out of here. I wonder if I tore this page out, because I think on the opposite page here was a photo from the Grand Forks, North Dakota demo, my hometown, and I am in this photo. I don't remember tearing this out, but clearly there's a page missing. What a concept. A bunch of packing the dudes in one van with a U-Haul trailer that carries obstacles that you can set up along with the van and onto the van. So they were going to all these like out of the way places and whatnot. The Midwest towns, I think they went to the three bigger cities in North Dakota: Fargo, Grand Forks, and Bismarck. In the 90s, there really weren't any demos coming through, so it was kind of a big deal and a kind of an innovative way to do a demo. Any like a possible like level of anticipation you could have to see Mark Gonzalez skate, he surpassed it. Clearly one of the best people I've ever seen skateboard in real life. Look at that, Evil Knievel, Mark Knievel methods from Ramp to Ramp. Here we go. We're just gonna take a quick look at the North Dakota adventure. We gotta read through this. Photos by Atiba. I don't remember Atiba being in Grand Forks. But somebody took that photo that I was in, so maybe he was. All right, September 17th through the 19th. Since we're going to be in North Dakota for 3 days, a shop called Disc and Tape, that's the shop where I used to work, put us up at the local Holiday Inn that was to be our base of operations. The first demo in Fargo is held behind the shop. Since the ground is too rough in the parking lot, some of the locals help us block off the street with their cars. The town's TV stations show up for the event, and the cops are cool until the demo is almost over. Then they start shutting it down early, threatening to arrest anyone who doesn't know the trick. Of course, the Heath goes again with the backside lift side on top of the van. The cops back off after hearing the cheers from the crowd after when he makes it. Okay, since we have a hotel for the night, the crew gets loose in Fargo at a house party. The pro-hos are in full effect here, and I'm cornered by some bummed local skaters who are wondering why the ladies are going after the pros instead of them. Think about it, fellas. Okay, this is really funny. I've heard a couple stories about this exact incident that they're talking about, including Dan Rogers. But I'm gonna save it. Tight-lipped. Those stories don't need to be out there. Fireworks and unmentionables following. Klein orders some pizza. The hookups rocked Fargo, and yes, the people really talk like in the movie. Oh, Jesus fucking Christ. The next day, we're off to Grand Forks, North Dakota, all right, which is about 80 miles north of Fargo, for a demo in a town that was wiped out last spring by floods and fire. Yes, it was. I'm not sure if that's why there isn't much of a crowd, but I suppose it's better to have a house than a skateboard. Good point. Yeah, there weren't a ton of people, but again, like I said, it was a super shitty day. And also, like, these towns, like Fargo and Grand Forks, are so isolated that, like, you're gonna go, if you live anywhere in the area, you're gonna go to one demo or the other, and you're probably gonna go to the Fargo one, because Fargo's the bigger city. And some of the fine specimens from the previous evening joined the boys for some good times. With Atiba and Mark gone, the van seems empty. Little did we know, we have one of our biggest demos about to go off in Bismarck. I'm not gonna go through all the Bismarck stuff. I just wanted to read about Grand Forks. Okay, Gons with the biggest, mobdest kickflip. Mobdest, is that a word? I don't know. Mobbed is barely a word, so I'm gonna say mobdest is also a word. Dan Rogers with a crooked grind. I think a bunch of people at the demo that I was at did crooks on the van, at least a couple did, including Jeremy Klein, who had just come out in another interview saying that he hated crooked grinds, and he said, "Why would I want to be stuck in that gay position?" this seems like a really weird complaint, not to mention like super homophobic complaint about a crooked grind. But then he was like, he did a crook at the demo. Jake Nunn with a frontside ollie, that's dope. Kevin Taylor at the Climax facility. This is how rare Kevin Taylor media sightings were. You had to catch him at this like little, private industry park. Brad Stabo with a crook shove. That's dope. I mean, that's something you can bring back on rails today. I think kids would find that pretty sick on a rail. Richard Angelides with a very good switch flip over the dumpster. Adam McNatt Rex shoes, not really showing off the shoes at all. That's fine, they sucked. I had a couple pairs, I think, because the skate shop sold me some for like really cheap. Oh, this is a terrible photo, terrible cropping here at the bottom. Switch front 3 over a terrible gap, and I'm pretty sure he like touches his foot down. Lands about 90 degrees. God, if anything looks like a zero ad, it's this. NSS shoes. Nice. It was formerly Nice and it became NSS. Yeah, everybody's trying to get trendy with the athletic laces and these like lace loops. What is this, his last ad? This has got to be Tim Gavin's last ad. What is that, a back nose blunt? Probably not a make. That does not look like, he looks like he's popping out fakie maybe, but like, I just can't imagine that he gave a shit at this point. Innovation meter explanation. First to do a late shove it, 1993. I never got that. I don't get it. Brad Stava, no context to that photo at all. Don't know what's happening. Wait, Formula One skateboards? I don't quite remember this. So you had Formula One wheels, which I thought was kind of under the same umbrella as Acme. Apparently, I don't remember this, but apparently we had Formula One skateboards as well. I just memory hold that shit. What are my takeaways here? I remember 1998 in a way that this didn't exactly represent. Skateboarding of 1998 in my memory is kind of a singular thing and very different from 1997 and certainly from 1999. And this may not fully encapsulate that. It kind of feels like a 1997 hangover. And for sure it is. I hope you had fun looking back, getting a glimpse of the way things were.